Alright, folks. Some of you will probably remember this. PowerBook G4. Yes, it's out of focus. No, there's not much I can really do about it. Because I'm using this particular camera for this because this camera needs a little bit more use, and there's not much that I'm going to do in this video where you're going to need crystal clear look at something close up, for example. What we're going to do is, because this has an old installation of macOS 10 on it, I'm going to go ahead and reload the macOS, and it will be getting macOS 10.5. We'll pull from the DVD here. With any luck, this will actually work. I don't know how good the optical drive is in this machine. It might be completely toast. Somewhere I actually have a set of restore discs for the PowerBook G4. Not for this one, it would have been for the 17-inch one that I had previously. But they might work on this. I don't know where they are right now, though. Because I looked and I could not find my box of Apple Macintosh stuff for 10.4. And it's in that box. So. Well, I'm not going to let you or make you sit through this. So I'm going to just wait until it does something interesting, and then I will come back. Okay, it has actually done something now. Use English as the main language. It's going to preparing installation. Now, this is a single layer DVD, so this is going to be the minimal, because normally OS 10.5 is a dual layer disc, or came in a double disc set. Alright, to install, click continue and follow the instructions. That's what we're going to do. I assure you that I read that very carefully. I would like to install this, which has an exclamation point. Because a newer version is installed. Well, we'll go for options here. I want to erase and install. Format as macOS extended. Journal, I don't need the case sensitive. Quite frankly, I find that very irritating. Installing requires 6.5 gigabytes of space. Continue. I'm going to hit customize. There probably won't be very many options because, again, this is the single layer version of this. Select install. And now it will install. And I'll come back once this is finished. Or done something else. Oh geez, now it's going to check the install DVD. Here, listen to that. It's not the hard drive. That's the fan. Man, does the fan in this thing sound absolutely terrible. I'm gonna have to take it apart and oil that because that's just awful. You can also see, if I didn't point it out in the other video of this thing, that the keyboard is quite worn. That right there is a wear mark. And I don't know if I can get this in the right light. Here we go. You can see some shininess on a lot of the keys. Well, they're starting to wear down too. But this might take another 45 minutes. Maybe a little bit less. So. And then it will be done. Fortunately, even though it's Monday into a Tuesday night, I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I have to go to work until in the new year. Isn't that exciting? Okay, I want to admit that I wasn't paying attention to it, and it's now gone to this. I don't know what it's about to do. Well, reboot. If I can get it to eject the CD here. I don't think it needs it anymore. holding down the mouse button. That should be enough to convince it to eject the disk. Here we go. So, I hope it doesn't need it anymore. But it should now be booting off of the hard drive. It should be a lot faster than trying to boot off of the CD. And I think I'll shut up because the intro will play probably almost right as soon as this boots up. Here it comes. I think it's going to be out of focus, unfortunately, but fun stuff, folks. Alright. I'm going to set this up the rest of the way. And then we'll continue with this. Oh, yes, I forgot about this. And I made you sign up for an Apple ID. Which I don't need. And then there's the registration information. If you try to hit continue, it'll complain. I don't really want to send my personal information. That would be great. So now we can continue with this. And there we are. A nice fresh install of Mac OS. I will have to run updates because it's only 10.5.6. And then I'll have to reconfigure this desktop the way it should be. In fact, it might actually be bringing up the updates on its own here. One thing I do want to point out is, even though it's out of focus, you can see the hard drive icon right there in the corner where it belongs. Not sure why newer versions of the Mac OS disabled that by default. And yeah, I know you can enable it by going into preferences and changing things, but you shouldn't have to. It should just be there. Okay, software is now fully up to date. Got a thing for a time machine up here. I think I could probably set up a time machine backup server if I really wanted to, but for right now I don't think I'm going to. This is pretty much done. I don't have anything else that I need to do with this other than install some pieces of software. Unfortunately, there's probably not a whole lot that can be installed on this anymore that's up to date. Like, for example, there's no new web browsers being developed for this anymore. There was 10.4 Fox, but 10.4 Fox is no longer being actively developed. So, there's no modern browsers. There are some tricks that you can pull. I may investigate one of those in a video once I get it set up, but for the most part, this now has a basic install of OS 10.5. Now, 10.5 is probably a bit much for this, because this is only an 866 megahertz G4 with 1.128 gigabytes of memory, so 1 gig on the motherboard, or logic board, I guess, in Apple parlance, and then 128 in a module. I think that's how that works. I should probably put more into this, and I certainly could. It's not like it's that hard. It uses standard DDR SD RAM memory. Yes. Nope, actually, I take that back. 128 is built in, and you've got a 1 gigabyte memory module in the slot. So unfortunately, I can't really upgrade that. That's the most that this thing will actually take. So it's got a 60 gigabyte Fujitsu hard drive. Looks like everything is okay. Smart status is verified. Everything is fine. So I don't really have anything else to say about this system. So there's your fresh Mac OS 10 install. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below.